Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today I'm bringing to you 3 easy spring looks using 1, 2, and 3 shadows from my Shop My Stash eyeshadow palettes for the month of March. So sometimes as a creator you have one idea and as you start to execute that idea you have an evolving idea or a different idea that video has evolved into. So originally I planned to just bring you 3 eyeshadow looks, 3 easy spring eyeshadow looks using my 3 palettes from my Shop My Stash for the month of March. But when I used the first palette to create a 3 shadow look, which was the ColourPop URA QT palette, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I did like 3 shadow, 2 shadows, 1 shadow looks? Sounds like fun to me. So I hope you guys enjoy these looks. They are very simple looks in my opinion, but as always, if you have any questions down below above and beyond what is in this video, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions. And with all of that said, let's get into it. Alright, let's get into the first simple spring look. Today we're throwing things and I'm using the ColourPop URA QT palette. This is so pretty and definitely springtime. So I already have my eyes primed with my Smashbox Photo Finish lid primer in the shade Light. And all the rest of my makeup will be listed in the description box below. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go right in to this duochrome right here. It's called Kiss Me. And I'm just gonna lay this down over most of my lid. And then we're going to feather it up into the crease. This is a little bit sheer. I was thinking it was gonna have a little more base pigment than it does. It's still going to work for this springy look. Definitely one of the colors that attracted me to this palette. I'm gonna flip my brush over and just sort of tickle this up into the crease a little bit. Tickle. Who am I? Alright, now that we have that base laid down, I'm gonna go back in with the finger. If this doesn't work, I might try spraying it, but I've mentioned before that spraying is definitely not my favorite way to foil shadows or to apply shimmers to my lids. I'm just almost 40 so for whatever reason adding spray tends to add texture that I don't need added. Taking that same flat brush, I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of that same color and run it on the lower lash line. Because this brush is so thin, it definitely works for this application. Before I try spraying this shade, I'm just going to, like I said, go into the crease a little bit and just sort of buff this shade a little bit. I just want to soften this, and then we are going to go in with a pretty soft matte shade to sort of buff and blur the edges of this as well. This is one of my favorite ways to make an eye look quick. Apply one shade all over the lid, take a fluffy brush, buff it up into your crease a little bit, and honestly you can leave it right there. That's how I would create a 1 shadow look. But if you are wanting to use more shades, like say 3 shades like what I'm going to use today, I'll show you how to do that because it's very easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that same shade, Kiss Me. And I'm going to spray it with a little Fix Plus. I've really loaded up my brush now. And I'm just going to sort of pat that on. Yeah, that definitely punched it up a little. And I'm not going to work that in too far because I am going to have a highlight shade on the inner third of the lid, making sure I got all the way to the upper lash line. So you can see, now you can really see the shift in that shadow. Next I'm going to go into our matte. That's this really pretty light, cool pink shade. I think it's Cool Tone. We'll find out. And it's called Angel Face. And we're just going to very, very lightly run this along the edge of the shade that we buffed into the crease. And if you're doing this style, like this kind of 3 shadow look along with me, or want to try it at home, I really think the shade that you use for this, in order to get this sort of soft, springy kind of look, should be a light tone. Not white, but light. And then the last shade we're gonna go into is this really pretty purpley orchidy pink called Cutie Pie. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, we might have to spray it. We'll see. Gonna pull that up just a little, as I like to do at the front of my crease. Yeah, I think I will spray it. Okay, let's spray it. Let's do it. Man, I love the smell of Fix Plus. I don't buy it just for the smell, but man, it is definitely a plus. Alright, I'm just going to pat this on, bring it a little further back on the top part of the lid versus the bottom. Oh, it's so pretty. I had this little container here. I'll put a picture up on the screen for you. My sister was kind enough. She purchased one of the Coty Airspun brand loose highlighters in the shade Pink Me Up. And it's such a pretty color, very unique. I did use this as my highlighter today, but I don't know. It's more of a blush topper for me, and I want to try this for an inner corner highlight. Especially because I didn't love it on my face. That's a little darker than what I was hoping. Gonna really buff it in there. I guess you could see. I mean, it is brightening. I think I'm gonna bring a little of this up on the lid. Oh yeah. That's pretty. That brightened even more. I think that's it. I'm gonna pop off of here real quick, do some liner, mascara, and a lip, and we'll come back and wrap it up. Ta-da! We're back! I went ahead and finished off the look with a blue eyeliner. This is the NYX eye pencil in Sapphire. It's just a really pretty blue, and I think it actually kind of sets off the look a little bit. Plus, it ties in my navy shirt. I also used the Milk Kush mascara, lined my lips with the Essence lip liner in Satin Mauve, and then I went in with this L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in the shade Sauce Mauve, like this, and just sort of tapped it into my lips a little bit, a little more. And then just for gits and shiggles, and because I felt like my blush always feels too warm when I do a cooler eye look like this, so I actually took some of this eyeshadow right here called Angel Face and applied that on the apples of the cheek, and I think it kind of brought the look together a little bit. And this, my friends, is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Stay tuned for look number 2. Hoping all the looks won't be pink, and I will see you in the next look. Alright guys, welcome to the second look. So I had a bit of inspiration last night. I thought it would be fun, since I did a 3 shadow eye look yesterday, to do a 2 shadow look today and a 1 shadow look tomorrow. I hope you guys will enjoy that concept. It just sounded like fun. Today's palette is the Sephora Pro Editorial 2.0 palette. Again, this isn't my Shop My Stash for the month. As you can see, I'm wearing blue today. I think we're going to go into those 2 blue shades for a blue monochromatic look with just a tiny bit of a fade, and I think it's gonna be fun for spring. I'm gonna go into this matte pale like cornflower blue. It's called Pegasus. So I'm gonna lay that blue right on top of that somewhat tacky primer, and then we'll bring it up into the creasel region. This is going to be a super fast look, but I'm excited. I've actually been really excited to use these shades since I got this palette, but I have yet to do it. Honestly, I could do an eye look with just this color. It is so pretty. All right, this is just like a flat shader brush, and Emily Noel does this all the time where she'll like use this type of brush to create more of a lifted, rounded shape here in the crease. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do. This type of pastel shade does tend to blend away quite easily, so that's why I prefer, you know, sort of packing it on and then just lightly blending the edges. I'm also going to take same shade on the lower lash line. Somehow it's just really easy to build that crease color and actually feel where your brow bone is for placement purposes when using a flat brush versus a fluffy brush. So I'm going to take just a medium size fluffy brush and take that same shade, tap it off a little bit, and then just run it along the edge of what we've already laid down. And if you are a super busy person, whether it's work, kids, you know, whatever, this is such an easy way to get an eye look on and get out the door. This is like very Cinderella to me. And I am not at all mad about it, actually. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into our shimmer shade right here. Give you a little kind of close up. It's called Charm. I'm gonna take that same flat brush that I used with the matte shadow, and wow, Chunkville, we're gonna have to spray it. Much better. I don't know yet whether I like the texture. It is damn similar shade though to the matte, isn't it? We're gonna end up with a really pretty blue look. All right, I'm gonna pick up that same shade, the metallic shade, on a little smudger brush and spray it real good. And I'm gonna press this up on the lower lash line. I wore blue eyeliner yesterday, so I don't know if I want to today, but I am definitely going to line my tight line a little bit, at least just for a little bit of definition on the eyes. Not that I couldn't leave it like this, it would be very ethereal and pretty, but it's just what I'm feeling today. So I'm going to do that real quick. Mascara, liner, and a lip, and we'll come back and wrap it all up. All right, we're back. I have finished off the look. I used my Wet n Wild kohl pencil in the shade Simma Brown now. This is so good, you guys. I highly recommend it, especially for 99 cents. And then I used the Milk Kush mascara. I've been loving this again. I might buy the full size at some point when I don't have like 10 backups. And then I used the ColourPop Just a Tint lip crayon in the shade Gimme Some More. This is a part of Emily Noel's bundle, and I love this nude shade. So this is the completed 2 shadow look. Now I'm going to cheat, if you will, and just do a little inner corner highlight. I feel like I need it today. I don't feel like I look very awake. So I just pulled out ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Highlighter, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the inner corner. This is like the most fantastic inner corner highlight, in case you're wondering. See? Awake eye, not awake eye. So here's the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this 2 shadow look. Remember that you can use any colors and any palettes that you choose, neutral, colorful, or otherwise, to recreate this look. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Alright, welcome to our 1 shadow look today with the ABH and Carly Bible palette. I actually decided today we're going to do an all matte look, and we're going to use this shade right here called Cindy. It's a really pretty peachy shade, maybe leaning toward the coral. side of things, and we're first going to start by laying this down all over the lid. I did not set my eyeshadow primer, so hopefully she's gonna stick like glue. The shadow, that is. So I'm more patting or pressing this onto the lid versus swiping it. Using the same brush, no additional product, I'm going to just take the tip of this brush and run it on the lower lash line. I'm now going to go in with a big fluffy blending brush, pick up a little product, tap it way off, and we're going to start this in the crease and blend it upwards. We want the most pigment in the actual crease right above the lid, and then just gradually fade that out in the crease area, crease transition area. So since I have hooded eyes, I'm gonna start with my eye closed. As I get the amount I want in the crease applied, I will start blending that up into the transition area. And I really want there to be an obvious difference between the opacity that's on the lid from the opacity that's in the crease and transition area. And if you're new to these type of looks, just take your time. You can always add more when it comes to this type of look, but it's very hard to take it back. So just start low and slow with your shade, and then work it to where you want it gradually. You could do this look with any color of the rainbow. You could do this with a neutral shadow. You would have seen in the 2 shadow look, the second look with the Sephora Pro Editorial 2.0, that I did the same look essentially with a light blue shadow, and that turned out really beautiful. And then we just added the shimmer on top. So we're kind of making building blocks here in this video. This would be sort of your base. Then you could add a shimmer on the lid for a 2 shadow look, and then you can add depth to the outer corner and the lower lash line for a 3 shadow look. And that, my friends, is all she wrote. Now, if you wanted to at this point, you could absolutely add an inner corner highlight or brow bone highlight. That would add another shade. Technically, you could use your highlighter that you use that day, but I first want to show you what the look looks like without any other shadows, and then I will show you how you can add 2 if you want to take it one step further. So I'm gonna pop off of here, use my Wet n Wild Simi Brown Now eyeliner and Milk Kush mascara and a lip, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how you can add a little zhuzh to this 1 shadow look. All right, we're back. Here's the completed look. The eyeliner really helps this look out a lot. I do tight line on the top waterline, and then I do just a tiny bit on the outer part of the lower lash line, and then I use an angled brush to smudge those both like the rest of the way, or however far I want to have them go in. As promised, I'm just going to show you how I personally would finish off this look. Now, I did say you can use your highlighter that you used for the day, and that's going to really help tie things together, make things look more cohesive. You absolutely could go in with a lighter shade in whatever palette that you've used to create your look, or you can do what I'm going to do. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light. This is what I use to set under my under eyes, as well as what I use usually to highlight my Cupid's bow when I'm not feeling like a highlight. So I'm just going to use this. Since this is a matte look, I don't want to go in with anything super blingy in the inner corner. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put this right in to the cavern, and you can see it's just ever so slightly brightened in there. This is also a really smoothing powder, so if you do have texture on your eyes at all, this is really helpful, and that's why I use this to highlight my Cupid's bow because it actually is a finishing powder, and so it's very smoothing to my lip line, which I need. So here you go. We've just brightened the inner corner. We haven't added any shimmer to the lid or anything like that. So let me know down below, what did you think of this video? Did you like the format, the 3-2-1? I could do this with other palettes, maybe some older palettes if you're interested. But today I just wanted to bring to you 3 very simple spring looks with my Shop My Stash palettes for the month of March. With all of that said, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me here today. I always appreciate each and every single one of you who tunes into my videos. It means a whole lot to me. If you did like this video, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out here on the BeauTube. And with all of that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful eyeshadow makeup days, and I will see you in my next video soon.